Hey, this is Mike Viper, and welcome to Pluralsight. This is the final course in a 4-course learning path that'll get you prepared to take the AWS Certified DevOps Engineer Professional exam. In this course, we're going to focus on the high availability and elasticity learning objectives from the official AWS exam blueprint. Before we get started, let's do a quick review on the courses that are in this series, and also remember that each course maps to the domain objectives for the exam. So first we have Continuous Delivery and Automation, which covers about 55% of the content you should expect to see on the exam. Next we have the course on Monitoring, Metrics, and Logging, which covers 20% of the exam content. And then we have Security, Governance, and Validation, which counts for about 10% of the exam content. Now, if you haven't already watched these courses, I highly recommend you go ahead and watch these first before moving on. We actually cover a lot of information in these courses, especially in the first course, where I talk about the prerequisites for the exam, exploring the exam blueprint, and how to best study for the exam and keep up with AWS updates. And as long as you've gone through all of these, you'll be ready for this course on high availability and elasticity, which accounts for about 15% of the exam content. Now, just as a reminder, remember that you'll need to meet some prerequisites before registering for the AWS DevOps exam. So you'll need to have passed at least one associate level exam, and that can either be the AWS Certified SysOps Administrator Associate exam, or it could be the AWS Certified Developer Associate exam. And with all of that out of the way, let's go ahead and discuss what you can expect to learn in this course on high availability and elasticity. First, we'll take a look at common architectural patterns when designing for high availability and scalability on AWS. So we'll take a look at eliminating single points of failure and architecting a design that uses loose coupling and disposable resources. Next, we'll go on a deep dive into auto-scaling groups, and we'll review how to create launch configurations, implement lifecycle hooks, and then we'll cover the concepts of auto-healing and elasticity in depth. Next, we'll move on to implementing scalable and highly available database services on AWS. So we'll explore all the options, including running and managing your own database servers on EC2 instances, along with RDS instances in DynamoDB. And after we've covered the core concepts, we'll tie everything together and build a highly available web application on AWS. So the architecture will include auto-scaling groups, along with resources distributed across multiple availability zones, and then we'll validate and test that the architecture can sustain an availability zone outage and that the application stays online in the event of a failure. And finally, in the last module, we'll wrap up the series with some reminders and tips on how to study and get ready for the exam.